Hey, good morning everybody. This is Eric Thomas from Thomas Hills Ranch. I wanted to provide a kind of a comparison today of what our fields look like after having goats on them as opposed to the ones that didn't. So I have a good sample here because my driveway splits two pastures essentially. And they're big pastures, they're about 20-acre pastures. But as I mentioned in one of my other videos, I changed from doing real tight confinement with the goats to opening them up in the spring. And then I put my goats on this 20-acre pasture on my right at about, I think it was about March time frame, maybe March, April. And then I'm getting ready to move them back up the hill. And because I split the boys and girls because I don't want any more winter babies and to have all the problems I had with winter babies. But first I'm going to show you a little bit about what grows here. So my paddocks, as far as they go, let's see, 2 summers ago, not last summer but the summer before, I had a neighbor hay my property because we weren't up here and we weren't using it for animals. And so he hayed the property. The next summer, another neighbor asked me if he could hay my property. I told him no because I wanted the nutrients to stay on my land. And my plan was to brush hog it, but I didn't. And then this summer, I put the goats on the area that had not been brush hogged or anything, or one of the areas, half of it, and I built a fence. I built this fence here. It's a, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's just a 5-wire smooth wire, and the bottom wire and the third wire are electric, and that has kept them in. Again, these goats were trained to 2 wires, so and that's what I'm using around the perimeter now in this area, is my 2-wire right in front of the barbed wire perimeter. So even though barbed wire I know will not hold in goats, that 2 electric wire seems to encourage them. And so that's working real well. But as you can see, my driveway splits. On the right side is where the goats were. On the left side is where I have no goats because I didn't. My plan was to put a fence there too, but I didn't. I'm hand digging all the holes, so things go a lot slower than you think. So here's some of the stuff that grows. You can see we got a lot of wildflowers. This area has not been touched for a couple of years now. You can see there's those are persimmon trees that are growing up, and they sprout up all over the place. And I'm not sure a lot of the names of this stuff. It's been a while, so I know we have ironweed, we have yarrow, we have several kinds of sunflowers. We have greenbrier, we have some looks like red top back there, with some Johnson grasses mixed in. Most of it is Bermuda, and then we have fescue mixed in certain areas, and then we have large areas of clover, both white clover and red clover. The red clover right now is, boy, in this untouched area, it's probably knee-high or a little higher. And then we have blackberries, which produced a ton this year, and also dewberries, which are shorter. They have a also thorny vine, but it's a red vine. And so you can see here, this stuff is pretty thick, and it goes all the way up the pasture. And then I don't know, again, how well you can see. I'll try to scroll in here. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera too much. But you can see all that was left. So again, this area has not been touched by goats. And I don't know if my camera's focusing, so let me back off here. It's quite a humid morning, so I'm not sure how much the humidity is affecting my lens. So over to the right here, you can see the pasture. Now this pasture looked just like the other pasture last year. We had a lot of ironweed back up towards the tree line, and you can see the weeds are not gone. Weeds are not totally gone, but you can also see the grass is not totally gone. And actually, you can, if I were to run another animal in here, the fescue is much easier to get to. We have a large area down in the bottoms that is Johnson grass that the goats aren't really touching. And I'm not saying goats don't eat grass. They do eat grass, but they're more browsers. They'll come by and they'll nibble it. They'll nibble off some of the tips of the grass. And you can see if we were to look closer, I'm not going to touch my electric wire here, but if we were to look closer, you would see a lot of the fescue. Not a lot of it, but you can always see that pieces are nibbled off. They spend a lot of time in this area. I thought they were hitting the clover a lot, but there are a lot of other, I'll just call them thorny things, a lot of other weeds mixed in with this clover that they just really like. Off in the distance you can see there are some blackberry vines, there are some dewberry patches, but overall this, in my opinion, I wish I had a picture of it last year, because this was just super tall and flowers just like this is. And again, this is just I don't know, 10-15 feet away. I do mow the edge near the driveway just to make it like you're not driving through a jungle when you come in. But all this stuff is gone. We used to have some cockleburs, real bad. I'm sure they're in here. I don't even want to walk through this because I'll come walking out filled with it. But again, you can see the impact the goats had. I have not mowed any of this. That's why I'm doing this video. Is my plan is to rent a tractor with a brush hog and mow this all down. Even this area here, and then hopefully, so that'll be around, we're pretty close to July here. I probably won't get it done before July. And move the goats to the back, let this grow back during our wetter August and September seasons, let it grow back a little, and just have it for some some stockpile just in case I need it. I shouldn't need it till next spring, but just in case I do, I want it there. You can see here we still do have some trees popping up, and if I make it up to the top, we'll see more of those poplar trees. This is a honey locust. But you can see what the goats do to it. They'll trim off the bottom and just leave the top. And this, again, this is the honey locust with the really spiky tree. It's got, I don't know, maybe 1 to 2 inch spikes on it, and they hurt. I don't know if they're poison tipped or not, but they sure hurt when they pierce through your jeans or whatever you're wearing. So the goats will still eat that. They eat the leaves off of it. I don't know if you notice, they use the bottom to rub their horns. They're either rubbing their horns or they're itching between their horns. And so that's what I've noticed happen to most of my trees down here. The bottoms are pretty much leafless, and then they also strip the bark with the rubbing of their horns, because they're pretty rough on the trees. They'll actually knock some of them over, some of the saplings. Again, up here, we have a lot of trees. I'm hoping I can get through this with a brush hog, because some of the trees are 1.5 years old, and if not, I'll just come through with loppers and walk through. It'll take quite a bit of time, but I'm obviously not looking forward to it, otherwise it would have been done. So anyway, it's a beautiful, what are we in, June morning here. Kind of a bit humid, but I just wanted to get a chance to show you the impact of the goats on our land. And again, I'm only running, I'll say 20. Our numbers fluctuate so much with births and deaths, and so I'm running about 20 goats on about 20 acres, and they're doing really well just keeping the weeds down. So if you ever thought of running some goats with your cattle or something like that, here's an example of what it does. So I hope this video helps, and from Teddy and me at Thomas Hills Ranch, God bless and have a great day.